just want to go to that caption and then you read it. Let me show you guys something briefly about the chat as well, then I'm just going to log off. I don't intend to stay on Instagram live for long at all. I have quite a number of things to do personally. But this morning when I woke up, Rick was still asleep, and then I was calling and disturbing him to wake up. The moment he woke up, first thing is like, let's look at GBP USD for a sell. And I intentionally asked him one question because I knew exactly the perspective he was coming from. He did not do any proper analysis. He just used one perspective, which is even part of the confluence anyway, that we look out for. And then he said, let's look at selling GBP USD. So I intentionally asked him that, okay, if you want us to sell GBP USD, what is your confluence? What are you looking at? What have you seen? Then for like 5 minutes, no answer from him. Then the next minute I come to get a lot of text from him and answers explaining, I see this, I see that, I see this, I did, and this is my reason. I'm like, my brother, you're telling lies. Because the first time when you're looking at it, you had not seen all the confluences. You just looked at one thing, which he knows that I know. And then you use that one confluence to say, let's sell this one. Then he knew that he had been caught, so he started laughing at his own self. But he gave a good explanation later on though, which kind of made sense. So I also looked at the market from that perspective. But that doesn't mean that I'm trying to short, GBP USD right now from it. But he made me, look at the XY. He mentioned about third touch, so he eventually I had to, zoom out on my chart and look at what the market had been doing in terms of the XY, right? And then we saw that there's no support resistance on the only candlestick patterns exactly. So we all caught Rick right there. That's right, dumbbells, the vibe. So yeah, he made me eventually look at the XY, which I had already drawn this pattern before it took off, identified these triangular pattern before it took off, and then he's been making this counter trend line. I kind of explained counter trend line in my in my other YouTube video. So if you've not watched the real explanation of counter trend line, then you should go watch it. So I kind of explain it like we're overall kind of in a bullish market, right? You can see that bull retracement, bull retracement, bull retracement. But this kind of trend line right here kind of makes it seem as if the bears are in control. So it's countering the momentum of the bulls. Yeah, currently this trend line right here, which is just this brief one right here, is countering. So anytime the bulls try pushing, this trend line just pushes them back down, So it's a counter trend line. And then I'm expecting that this counter trend line is eventually going to be broken. And then we have the XY visit these highs again, which is going to make the market strong. Eventually, dropping. But let's not look at that first. Let's look at the strength coming in first. But yeah, so that was also one thing that was pretty much a little bit convincing, looking at the fact that if that thesis should play out, then we could eventually have like GBP USD also actually dropping, and then we could also have Euro USD dropping. In fact, all of the USD cross references. I have my eyes on Aussie dollar USD here as well. I already told the Aussie dollar is also strong, and then we have New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar also strong at the moment. That's why we have the Aussie dollar card trade that are sent out still playing around the entry region, because both currency pairs are very strong. But you can see here that when I go to Aussie dollar USD, then it's pushing up because because USD is still trading bearish, and then Aussie dollar is trading bullish. So that's why we have it going all the way up like that. So it's only going to start really dropping, which is like Aussie dollar USD, when we start seeing the DXY really indeed taking shape and then becoming bullish. That is where I'll be interested in looking out for a short position on Aussie dollar USD, and then New Zealand USD as well. So it's not really complicated this week for the setups that I'm watching, but we need a whole lot of storyline to build up before we can make any any solid justification of reason to buy or reason to sell. But at the moment, we should just be observers and participants than just partakers. Just observe what the market is doing. Let's just have about 1 or 2 positions going on, which is not bad, like the way we have here with the Aussie dollar card position run. It's still playing around entry, nothing much. Even though, like, personally, like I told you, I am I am exposing this account, right? It's 5,200. I set it up this morning. I'm using it to shoot a YouTube video as well for you guys, just showing you from the idea that I did here, right? I'm showing a practical way of the idea that I did here in yesterday's video, right? You remember that yesterday I did a video of formula for turning small trading capital into fortunes, right? And I did break down exactly how I manage risk. I did break down exactly how, I played it. Let me just go forward a bit. I did break down exactly, I did a whole thorough breakdown of it, in-depth analysis of it, and I'm doing the same replica here, right? You can see that I'm already in about 81 Ghana cedi profit, but that's not where I'm expecting this to go at all. This is just like still playing around the bush. But if it really does go exactly where I want it to come, we could end up with about 3,000 Ghana cedi profit or 4,000 before the day ends or before tomorrow ends, which is going to be like more than 60% return on the capital, even though I'm assuming more risk. That's why the title says what, formula for turning small trading capital into fortunes. And then somewhere in there I said that if you're not really ready to risk that money, it's not something that you want to partake in. So I'm showing you like a practical aspect of it. It should be interesting, right? We see about 143, 160. Not bad. Let's just use this to toast the market. I still have like it running on my dollar account, the 6-figure account, and I have another over $16,500 account somewhere. It's also running on it as well. But yeah, that's just the only position that I have at the very moment running, and then the other ones that I've explained to you. But all I have to do now, obviously, is to take my time, be patient, and then probably just relax. After I do this kind of thorough thing, it takes so much stress on my mind. The whole analysis process, the whole calculation. It's a lot of work. People don't see trading from that angle, but it's actually a whole lot of work done than you can ever imagine. Maybe you've not got to that level yet, so you're just doing some stuff on your phone and then zooming in on your phone, putting some lines on your phone or your tablet, but you don't get to see that that proper work behind the scenes. But if you really get to using the tools and then the other stuff that just requires you to look into the market from a very bigger time frame perspective, different level, then you tend to appreciate the work even more. Because like before I actually took this position I had to, which was yesterday though, I had to watch the fundamentals. It was actually on Sunday and then yesterday as well. Watch the fundamentals that we have on for this week. Today being Tuesday, there isn't much, but I think it's Wednesday that we have some news coming in. Wednesday and then a little bit on Thursday. Nothing so serious on Friday as well. So I've already priced that in my analysis. I've already factored those things also into the analysis. So once everything is done, once the risk is accepted, once the position is clear in my mind that okay, this is why I'm doing this is why I'm doing this. Like the very reason why I asked Rick that what is your confluence? Why are you saying let's sell GBP/USD? You see, even him as experienced as he is, sometimes he just gets what word would I use? He just gets what's the proper word to use? I don't really find the proper word to use. But you can be so negligent, with being able to have a specific reason. We always say it out there on YouTube, we always say it out on Instagram Live. But sometimes, it's easier said than done, Like if I put him on Instagram Live right now and I say, Rick, what do we look out for before we take out a trade? He's going to say, okay, you have to check your confluence. Yeah, somebody say lost, carried away, confused. They all qualify, impulse trading. You see, no matter how experienced you are, you can easily get carried away. You can even do impulsive stuff. But sometimes, the word is sometimes, yeah. So that's just what differentiates, the real work behind being a professional trader, right? Because no matter how how much of advice preaching you're doing out there. When you sit by your own chart, sometimes you can easily get carried away by a very tiny thing. You see one thing, it convinces you, you forget about all the principles that you have to really watch through before you take a decision, and then you take that decision, you realize that no, I messed up, I shouldn't have done it this way, which can be very, 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 very disturbing. So you don't really want to get trapped in that. Make sure that you're overly like reminding yourself of the decisions you make, the instructions you decided to take before when you set your own rules for yourself, right? One thing that I also was excited to see, was it last week or this week, was one of my old trading setup, right? Let me see if I still have the picture here. Yeah, this one right here. And then what it did was it reminded me of all the rules that I used to have for myself when I was trading back then. I think most people are going to remember this setup, right? Because most people used to ask me back in the days that, Kojo, what are the things that were written on your computer? What are the yellow stickers? What are written? And then sometimes people would take screenshot and try to zoom in and see, and then they'll come back and be telling me that, Kojo, I can see you wrote here, patience is key. I can see you wrote here, risk 1%. I can see you risk here, this and it. but I had to manually do these things and watch them over and over more than 3 years for it to sink deep down in my head, for it to resonate with myself, and then be so used to it. This is me in my chat in 2017, 2018, thereabout, because like I needed to inculcate those disciplines. Now I'm so used to them because I've been doing them over and over, so I don't necessarily need to put stickers out there and put them on my computers before they remind me. This is some of the extreme things that you got to do even as a trader to just maintain simple thing like discipline. Just simply maintaining discipline, just understanding that like I need to follow these rules, I need to follow these procedures, I need to work this way, right? As simple as ABC that it may seem, you need to go through some of the laborious activities or effort like this, even sticking so many stickers, writing out the rules, and then reminding yourself, day in and out, that these are my rules, these are my stuff, before it will just take so deeply in your mind. We can't see it clearly. I mean, I didn't intend to make you see it, but I'm just trying to make you know that these are some of the things that I used to do. So if you have any rules, right? I think I wrote somewhere there, I've forgotten. Maybe I'll just look through the picture again and it will remind me of all the things that I said there. I may just repost them on Instagram Live for you, right? But now that the position has been taken, now that the market is just running, right? You don't get paranoid, and then all the time quickly excuse me, go back there and then check, go back there and then check. Hey, as a new candle come, as 15-minute candle come, as 5-minute candle come, you're going to be putting too much stress on your head because you've not accepted the risk from the beginning. I mean, the only time I tell you all the time that I even up to this point will personally get anxious about a trade is when I don't know exactly how much I'm risking. I was supposed to log in on my MT4 on the desktop, but I was having challenges because I downloaded my MetaTrader 4 not from the broker's page but from the MetaQuotes website itself, so it was very difficult to find the server to log in, so I had to do some research. But before that, I just placed those positions. I just place those positions on my mobile phone, right? So when I just place those positions, obviously, like I can't drag it on the mobile phone, so I didn't see exactly how much am I risk, and I didn't use like a risk calculator to measure that. Okay, put 0.1, I just put in 0.2 lot, and I put in about 5 positions. So later, when I was able to log in, and then I dragged it, and I saw that okay, with all of that I've done, I'm exposing myself to about 3,000 Ghana cedis on this account, which boils down to about, is it 65% or 70%? If the account is 5,000, I'm exposing 3,000, what does it call for? About 60%, right? Or 65% of it. And I was asking myself, wow, that's like a little bit too much though. Because if I had the lot size calculator, I would have probably exposed no more than 1,005, maybe 1,000 Ghana cedis, 1,005. Being that I'm just starting it, but well, who cares anyway? It's not going to hurt me. It's not going to do anything it's not going to jeopardize my financial stamps. Losing, what's the name, 3,000, or I went on Instagram Live when was it just Saturday, and I gave out almost 5,000 5,000 Ghana cedis within 30 minutes. So it's literally like blowing that 5,000 Ghana cedis on the market. So it didn't really make any much of a difference. But yeah, hopefully it has not blown away, because you don't got to be careless with money, no matter how much you have it. That's one thing that most people also don't get it straight up in their sleeves. You don't get to be careless with money, or you don't get to be like what's the name, extravagant with money just because you have it. Then you just be throwing out it. Let me blow the money because I have it. You got to be very, very, very cautious with money. But I'm shooting a content for you guys like using the same concept. But I think that it's going to make a very interesting video. You're going to really love it. You go finish. What's going to finish? I love to be one of your good students, please. Come on. That's massive. The confidence for me. I mean, if you really want to make money in trading, and then you don't think that you got to be like, confident, I think we have the 4 hour just closing on Xness, which kind of gives us a very interesting closure. And then it brings my capital back to 0.00. Just about under negative 45. But yeah, let's see how it goes. The way this one looks, it kind of looks more like a swing position. We may end up holding this trade for the whole week. Who knows, right? The whole week.